Hey everybody, welcome to the Cylounge, and this is Cruise Peruse episode number 92. 92, boys and girls, that's right. We are here on the east side of town. The weather is disgusting as all fuck because it is Las Vegas. It is in the middle of July, boys and girls. July! That's right. It's like 103 degrees average on a day-to-day basis here in Las Vegas. Sunny Las Vegas here, boys and girls. And the thing is, right, it's hot as shit, especially Vegas. It's hot as shit. Not much sports ball going around, boys and girls, like I've talked about, like we've mentioned many times before. But what we do get is a bit of these off-season news, right? They just pop up out of nowhere, like, hey, new hire, hey, new bullshit. And obviously the NBA has really been the main performer. I want to say performer. They've been like the main guys, the main institution that really has been in all kinds of uproar, right? You know, the whole Kawhi situation, and then all the trades, all the free agency moves. Probably one of the best free agency periods in the NBA in such a long time. And as an NBA fan, you get to enjoy it. And simultaneously, you also get to enjoy the kind of collateral damage of everything that's happened. So let me give you an example. Reportedly, OKC, Oklahoma City Thunder, they are not going to trade Chris Paul, but they're going to start the season with Chris Paul. I just want to remind you, boys and girls, that roster, if everybody has a duo, that roster's duo is Steven Adams and Chris Paul. Where the hell are you going to go with that shit? To me, that says rebuild. And if you can't find a trade partner for CP3 by December or January, oh man, I don't even know, man. Do you just do the tank job with Chris Paul as the face of your organization? I mean, it's not the greatest idea. CP3, questionable character. I don't know. I'm not too crazy about that move. I'm one of those guys that says, listen, if you're going to go all in this rebuild, just go all in. All right, just go all in. OKC, you have 15 first-round picks. I didn't fucking stutter when I said that shit. 15 first-round picks from the year 2020 to 2026. So I ask you, OKC, is your plan really to parade around Chris Paul as your guy? Like, really? Not the greatest idea, in my opinion. My whole thing would be this. Flip CP3 for assets. And when I mean assets, I mean what, first round, maybe a first round pick if possible. But Lord knows if anyone's going to give, CP3, everyone's going to trade CP3 willy-nilly because of that ridiculous fucking salary cap. Not really salary cap, salary hit, I apologize. But it is a curious situation for OKC where if they do find a trade partner, yeah, the whole thing is going to be Steven Adams is going to be the face of your franchise. And mind you, he's not old. He's like, 25, 26? He's fairly young. So you can have that rebuild for the next 3-4 years with Steven Adams at the helm as your franchise player, more or less. Even though, yes, he's one of the most underwhelming franchise player if you did pick him as a franchise player. But again, if you pick Chris Paul as your franchise guy, I don't know if that's going to do any good for the business. I truly do believe that. And yeah, I'm not crazy about those Allstate commercial crap. CP3, based on everything that we've seen, throughout his career in the NBA, one can argue that he's a locker room cancer. And the faster you flip him and get rid of him, the better your team can, embrace the rebuild and just go in at it. That's what the Clippers basically did, right? The Clippers basically flipped CP3 for a ridiculous package, by the way. I remember that, what was that, like Lou Williams, Patrick Beverley, and a couple of other really good role players and first-round picks. So somebody has to do that. I mean, you're not going to get the same value right? The same value as what the Clippers did a couple years back, but you still need to trade CP3 in order to completely embrace the rebuild. That's my whole thing. And really with OKC, you guys had your opportunity. You guys had all the chances in the world. Sam Presti, I still think, is kind of a dum-dum. Yeah, I know the pressures of a GM job. It's very difficult to try to, finesse trades here and there. I get all that shit. But simultaneously, man, you couldn't do anything with one of the biggest star-studded rosters for a number of years. Couldn't retain your star players. One, due to stupid fucking salary reasons that you didn't want to hit the luxury tax, which you eventually did with the roster 2 seasons ago. Was it Melo, PG-13, and Westbrook went over the luxury cap in that shit, and now you're completely embracing the rebuild. So if you are going to embrace this rebuild, I'm just saying, just get CP3 out of there. There's no need to start him in the fucking lineup. There's not a fucking need to do so, okay? And I know, trying to buy him out of that ridiculous contract it's damn near impossible, but you gotta figure something out. Because OKC is... I really don't know if there's another NBA franchise that is as dick-punching as the Oklahoma City Thunder. No, there are plenty of others. There are plenty of others. The Phoenix Suns, the Sacramento Kings, the Clippers. So, the NBA landscape, boys and girls, has gotten a little crazier because of this offseason, especially because of this last championship and offseason. It has been pretty crazy. And we can only guess, we can only speculate as to what can potentially happen. And so, in the middle of July, we wait for some sort of answer, some sort of, divine time fast forward so we can get to the fucking regular season. I don't know, man. I just want to get to the regular fucking season already. If you haven't noticed. If you haven't noticed with me talking about the NBA all the goddamn time, I cannot wait till the regular season. Because we're approaching, August so soon. We're already going to be talking about football for the next few weeks now. But this free agency, the collateral damage of free agency has really made us talk about the NBA so much, right? But the reality is, dude, we're still 3 months out. We're still 3 months out. Summer League just got finished, right, over last weekend. Grizzlies winning it. And now it's just this kind of lull period before preseason. And really, it's not only basketball. It's not only basketball that's facing this kind of lull period. It's also hockey. My boys and girls, you know damn well. You know damn well, me living here in Las Vegas, I love my Vegas Golden Knights. I love that this off season right now is it's another challenge. It's another challenge for the Knights. And honestly, I like the moves that we made. Signing, is it Taylor? No, it's Tyler. I apologize. Signing Tyler Bischoff to a decent contract at $800,000 annual average for 3 years. I like that very much. And obviously, as the newer team relative to all the other 30 other franchises in the NHL, the Vegas Golden Knights, for fans at least, this is going to be a very interesting offseason where, like I said, there's a lot of pieces that are moved. There are a lot of things that we still need to take care of. I mean, namely the Nikita Gusev contract, a couple of other restricted free agents, if I'm not mistaken. But simultaneously, as Knights fans, we have to recognize that this isn't a bad team. All right, just because we let go of some depth in the center and defense doesn't mean we don't have prospects. We do got prospects. The Chicago Wolves has produced some really quality players throughout the last 2 seasons. And I mean, Bischoff is really one of the main representatives of that. So I'm very happy about that. And yeah, as a new team, we're gonna get a lot of the ire. We're gonna get a lot of fucking bullshit. But hey, that's part of it. And speaking of new, the NHL Seattle franchise, the 32nd team, has officially hired their new GM, Ron Francis. Now, for those of you who do know, Ron Francis was a former player, won back-to-back Stanley Cups with the Pittsburgh Penguins, got inducted into Hall of Fame in 2007. Playing career was until 04. I had to really just skim this real quick, boys and girls, before I started recording. But he also, namely, was the former GM of the Carolina Hurricanes. And he quit up in, I don't know if he quit or his contract was terminated. But Ron Francis, honestly, no matter how you can really look at the Carolina Hurricanes over the last however many years Francis was the GM, they've been pretty all right. I mean, scouting has been pretty spectacular. They have a lot of great young talents, and if Francis can bring that and just maintaining a decent roster, obviously it's not going to be the, McPhee Jedi mind trick shit that the Vegas Golden Knights are able to do, but Seattle can still have a lot of advantage, because here's the thing, boys and girls. Let me break this down real quick. Because Seattle, Washington, out of a lot of the states here in the United States, one of the few states that do not have income tax. So when you're paying your taxes on your annual basis, that's the one fucking tax you don't have to worry about: state income tax. I believe Nevada has that. That's why Vegas is so popular. Florida, Texas, I want to say Carolina too, like Raleigh, North Carolina, they got that too, or they don't got state income tax. Washington, I know they don't got state income tax. The cost of living, however, is just going to be exorbitant for them. But Seattle will have a very good, honestly, they're going to have a really good pitch for players to come to their organization. And if Francis can, and I keep bringing up Vegas because they're obviously the most recent expansion team, but if Francis can kind of emulate what McPhee and the Vegas Golden Knights were able to do in Las Vegas, and kind of apply that same principle in Seattle, where you reach out to the community first. That was the big thing with the Vegas Golden Knights. They reach out to the community first, volunteering, especially after that terrorist attack on October 1st. But you have to ingratiate yourself in the culture, in the community, and find players who aren't divas. And I know hockey players don't. I know most hockey players aren't divas. I understand that. But simultaneously, you see locker room cancers from miles away, even in hockey, right? And I'm not going to name any names. But you can see them from time to time. They're not also blunt about their cantankerous nature, but they pop out once in a while. So you got to find workers. You got to find humble guys, and like I've said, if you kind of follow the formula of how the Vegas Golden Knights did, I think they could have a very viable team that could be playoff contenders for a long time. Now, obviously, circumstance and happenstance can very much alter how the team, carries momentum throughout the season. I mean, obviously, like I talked about, the Vegas Golden Knights, their first season, inaugural season, was magical. I mean, you can't emulate that shit. But again, that luck aside, the way the Vegas Golden Knights built the foundation of the team is what made it so successful in year two, relatively speaking. Because after, more or less crashing out of the Stanley Cup final, having a really poor start to the season, we could have not made it to the playoffs. That's the one thing that people keep forgetting about the Vegas Golden Knights, is that without the acquisition of Mark Stone, and without the presence of Nate Schmidt in the lineup, you saw the team just falter. But somehow, some way, the quality was there, and that is a huge kudos to guys like McPhee, McCrimmon, owner Bill Foley, and everybody part of that Vegas organization who built that foundation. And also shout out to the Chicago Wolves for, creating a minor league affiliate that can, still be competitive in their own league. So, yes, is it an easy answer? No. Like I laid it out, it's not that simple, but I'm sure from this day forward, and when the franchise will probably have the draft in 2021 more than likely, the team will be ready, the foundation will be there, and the community will be behind them. And honestly, based on all the Instagram stuff, and I haven't really, I've been to Seattle in March, but I didn't ask anybody about the hockey team, but you can kind of tell from the social media interactions on the website, on the NHL Seattle website, that fans are excited, as they should be. Fans are absolutely excited. They're ecstatic that there's going to be another major league sports team in Seattle. Think about this. Seattle has, is it 5 major sports now? They got, aside from basketball, which I would strongly argue that Seattle absolutely deserves a basketball team. Seattle still got 4 major sports teams now, if you include the hockey team. So you got hockey, the NHL team, which will officially begin, in 2021, 2022 in operations. You also got the Seattle Mariners that are part of the Major League Baseball. You also got the Seattle Seahawks, my Seattle Seahawks, part of the NFL. You also got the Seattle Sounders, who are part of the MLS. And yeah, I knock on the MLS all the time, boys and girls. I do. Right? I do. Because as a football fan, you have to recognize that the MLS, as much as there are fans of the MLS, and kudos to the MLS for having fans, the quality of football is absolutely different compared to Europe. So as much as I, once in a while, I like watching the MLS once in a while, but I'm not an avid fan. I don't have a team in the MLS, but I do enjoy Seattle because, the Seahawks are my football team. So whenever I go to Seattle, if I can catch a Sounders game, I try to do so. What are you doing, jackass? And really, having those 4 major sports in Seattle can really cement itself as a sports town. And obviously, like I talked about, if basketball returns to Seattle, that'd be awesome. Because people would go crazy. People would go fucking crazy over basketball. Seattle, I'll tell you right now, boys and girls, if none of you have been to Seattle, I'll tell you the one thing. If you go to downtown Seattle, there are so many sports souvenir stores that sell Supersonics merch. There are people still rocking the Gary Payton jersey of the Seattle Supersonics. That, to me, that tells me that city still loves basketball. That city still wants basketball there. You have very prolific athletes like Russell Wilson who are very adamant about having an NBA team in Seattle, which would be fantastic. I mean, that would be fucking amazing. If the league expanded to 6 more teams, I would say absolutely you put Seattle there. You put Seattle as an expansion team. At this point, there's going to be ownership groups that I believe will, pay for a stadium, and the product can potentially be good. You have the University of Washington, solid college with great athletics. So, yeah, I'm a huge supporter of Seattle, man. I fucking love that city. And I know I bitch about Los Angeles, and in the same kind of token, Seattle has a homeless problem. But something about the Pacific Northwest, man, I just vibe with it. And I just, living in this kind of central West Coast for so long, right? Los Angeles, Las Vegas, kind of that central-ish area. Actually, south. It's more south. I apologize. More southern, western area. I prefer the Pacific Northwest. Still the West, but I prefer the Pacific Northwest. That's just me. So, like I said, boys and girls, the sports craze, it's nuts, right? Especially in Seattle or any city. I mean, I've seen it with the Las Vegas community, where we've never had a major sport team franchise ever. Major league sports. And Vegas Golden Knights comes in, everyone goes crazy. And like I laid out a couple minutes back, there had to be a lot of circumstances and happenstances, and one terrible tragedy for everything to just kind of culminate into what we have now. But honestly, the vibe of this community is completely different. I've lived here for 15 years now in this city, and having a major league sports team is absolutely different. So when you get the Vegas Raiders that are going to be here probably next season, starting next season, 2020 season, right? It's gonna be crazy. People are gonna get crazy, and people are generally already crazy, right? I already say this all the time. Like when I'm on the road on these cruise periods, I bitch about people because people are stupid and crazy. And those two little factors, those two, stupid and crazy, they can combine into just norms and trends, right? And the thing I want to get at today is the FaceApp. Now, over the last few days, if you have been on the internet, boys and girls, this new thing called the FaceApp, which is available on Apple, Google stores, all this shit, has driven people crazy because it's an application that augments your face with a camera to make yourself old or young or whatever, beard. It's super detailed. It's very funny in certain regards. But to me, the funnier thing, obviously the funnier thing, is a breach in security or a breach in privacy, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Obviously, boys and girls, I mean, I don't hide it. I use social media all the time. And with Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that shit, when you view the fucking agreement terms or whatever, terms and conditions of the application, there's a lot of things that people don't read, myself included, that obviously seems like a breach in privacy, right? And the FaceApp program, after really 2 days of just viral sensation, news comes out yesterday that, yeah, there's a huge privacy issue because in one of the fine prints, it basically says, if you use and take a photo using the FaceApp, we, the FaceApp people, can use said picture license-free anytime without any royalty. We can use this shit. Let's say, for example, if they want to put some shit up on Golf Digest, right? They can use your picture. They don't have to fucking pay you. They get the money. So people are naturally freaking out. Naturally, everyone's freaking out. Oh my God, they're invading my privacy. You dipshit. Like, if you're gonna complain, like, why did you fucking download it? Most of the fucking apps, softwares that you install on your phone, if you read most of the user agreements, a lot of them, they breach privacy all the time. And it's these little sacrifices that we make for convenience. But certain things like the FaceApp, it's like, why? You don't fucking need that shit. You don't need that shit, do you? People only use that shit to fucking post it up, but then realize, oh my God, my fucking privacy. Oh, internet warriors unite. Like, fucking slacktivist motherfuckers. Like, if you don't need it, don't use it. Okay? Simple as that. That FaceApp shit was taking over my fucking timeline, man. Going on fucking Facebook or Instagram, I'm scrolling through and seeing all these fuckers post old pictures of themselves. And like, all right, dude, like, I get it. This is kind of funny. But literally everyone's doing it. Like, okay, all right, stop it. Skip! Stop! I'm hoping, like, over the next few days, that shit kind of subsides, right? Like, that was the meme. And a couple days ago, the Area 51 thing was the meme. So it's going to subside again. And that's generally how memes work, right? Oh, God, we're gonna talk about memes. Only got a few minutes to try. We're gonna talk about memes. Yeah, we're gonna delve into this shit. Yeah, memes, boys and girls. If I'm gonna define it right now, memes are screenshots of a moment in time in our culture, in our society, and whether you agree or disagree with the hilarity of said meme, it's basically an imprint of the human condition at a certain point in time, right? Just like art. If you guys have ever seen any Renaissance paintings, they're a small moment, right? They're a small blip. They're a small little portion of history that was drawn, right? And yeah, I gotta turn in here. I gotta turn in here, bitch. But that's what basically memes are. I'm not suggesting that, you know, memes are as significant as, you know, art pieces like, you know, from Van Gogh, from Leonardo da Vinci. I'm not saying that, but there is cultural significance in memes because the way social media works, because the way information travels. Memes travel at speed of light, man. Like as fast as information travels, memes also travel at the speed of light. So all I'm saying is, don't get caught up in the memes, okay? Don't get caught up in the memes, because the meme that's funny now can be tragically boring in 24 hours, okay? So you just have to keep your eyes peeled, your ears perked up, ready to go. Because Lord knows, normal ass people won't understand what the fuck I'm talking about. But all you dank motherfuckers, all you dank sons of bitches, you know what's up. You know what's going on. But boys and girls, that about does it for me. I gotta take a quick trip to the library to gain all that knowledge. So boys and girls, follow me at the Sky Lounge and all the links in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe for more daily content. Now fuck off.